Hello there and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano. My name is Michael Ogbodu. Coming up, Regional Security Council of the Upper East Region Coordinating Council recommends curfew hours imposed on the Bawku municipality be reviewed. And later, over 700 people displaced in Nakpali Koli in the Zabzugu district in the northern region following a rainstorm that hit the area on Wednesday evening.
A rainstorm hit Nakpali, destroying several houses. It has ripped off so many houses. As you can see, the building I'm standing behind was also ripped off by the rainstorm. So we are appealing to government, non-governmental organizations, philanthropists, humanitarian institutions to come to our aid to salvage our situation.
Some caterers across the country under the school feeding program halt operations over the government's inability to pay arrears owed them.
Feeding them, yes, we are home high. Sometime or more jay, ama, I will phone a baby, ye bread. If a boo or crana, and I buy tiny score the money banner. I go school, only so co school, obedi dinance or munye. Omokoba omunidi nti yesra ban estreno ontua feeding for nika.
After several hours of being disconnected from the national electricity grid due to a 20 million Ghana cedi debt owed to the Northern Electricity Department Company of the Volta River Authority, the Upper West Regional Hospital has been reconnected to allow for negotiations on payments modalities between the power provider and the facility.
We regularly forwarded our bills to the Ministry of Health through Ghana Health Service. Last year, the Ministry of Finance paid part of our bill. They paid 8 million Ghana cedis, and we're expecting that similar payments would have been done this year. Unfortunately, this year, no payment has yet come until this disconnection.
Thank you for tuning in. Let's bring you our first story now, as the Regional Security Council of the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council has recommended that the curfew hours imposed on the Bawku municipality to be reviewed from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The council says the recommendation comes after its meeting on the security situation of the region on Friday, April 28, 2023. The Bawku Council conflict has persisted over the years between two factions in the municipality, leaving scores of people dead and others sustaining injuries. But the council, in a statement signed by the regional minister, Stephen Yakubu, indicated that the suggested curfews could temporarily help manage the security situation in the area. Now, some public basic schools in Accra are still enjoying hot meals from caterers of the school feeding program, despite a declaration of a nationwide strike over the government's inability to pay arrears owed them. There is more in the fuller report filed by Citi News' Rachel Engman and read by Emmanuel Opong.
Caterers under the school feeding program across the country announced that they would embark on an industrial action from April 27, 2023 until their demands are met by the government. The aggrieved caterers are seeking an increase in the current per-child payment of 97 pesewas, which they say is inadequate given the hike in the cost of goods on the market. They are proposing a payment of 3 cedis 50 pesewas per child instead. On the back of this, some members complied with the directive to suspend cooking, while others are defying it and are still at post. When Citi News visited some public schools in Accra, the team was met with mixed reactions from authorities and pupils. The headmistress of Nima 1 Basic School, Madam Eva Edna Baini, speaking to Citi News, explained that the caterer assigned to her institution came to cook for them because of the empathy she felt for the school children.
3 schools on this compound. All of the schools are being fed each and every day. Today like this, evidence-based. You can see the beans I have been served because I requested that each day I should be served so that I can see the quality and type of meal being served. So this is what has been served today, beans with gari. Yeah. So our caterer is still at post. The only challenge is the quantity of food. But anytime we complain, she tells us it is the money that is given, that is what she uses to prepare. That's managing because she has empathy on the children. That is why she has not stopped, because as she speaks, most of her colleagues are not cooking.
Meanwhile, some pupils who did not get fed by the caterers in their schools on Friday expressed worry.
The last time they brought food was Thursday.
And that's yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any idea why they didn't bring food today?
Please, no.
How do you feel? Are you happy that the school feeding caterers didn't bring food to you today?
Please, no. Please, no. Because government did not pay them.
The caterers said government hasn't paid them?
Please, no, but my friends are saying government did not pay them.
I mean, how are you surviving today? What did you eat? Did you bring food from home because they didn't come? Like, how do you feel?
Please, I feel very bad because they did not bring food.
So have you eaten?
Please, yes. I went and buy food at Margin.
When was the last time you ate from the caterers?
Please, it has kept long.
Like when? How long?
Like the last week, Wednesday.
That was the last time they brought food here?
That was the last time I ate.
Still on the issue, as some parents in the Sunyani municipality of the Bunu region have urged the government to pay caterers working under the school feeding program to resume work. Some caterers working under the program in the Sunyani municipality have not been working since school reopened about 3 weeks ago. Citi News' Michael Ogbodu visited some schools and reports.
During a visit to the Sunyani Municipal Basic School, it was observed that pupils were being fed under the school feeding program. However, the story was different at the Susek Model Basic School. The news team gathered that the caterers have not been feeding the children. The story is similar at the Nyama Basic School. During a visit to the school, it was observed that the kitchen was locked, and for weeks, the caterers have abandoned work. In relation to what is happening, some parents have expressed their thoughts and are urging government to ensure the caterers return to work.
Feeding them, yes, we are high. Sometime or more jay, ama, I will for no baby, bread. Fisebi or crana, na by tiny nisk or the money bano. I co school, on him so co school, obedi dinance or munye, or mokoba or muni din, tea srabbing, estreno. Untia feeding for neka. No more starting yet and a bad time for yes, your own toy.
Oh, to say I'm managed a higher pa, if we say, Obey school, a second crowd being a man and only saw by so support over no. Intina name kui. It's yes, rabbi say, and when me a bibi bit my yabwa, I'm a matima caterers na best start here, and no dear, and one ye pleaded so bit my baby. Yes, you want high cacra.
The American Fahone say, me muddy binty, banner more money, the high and be brain, tears, rabbi say. Kabia or dear mononchia momo. Now, Mamma men no and my man, almost intimate no munchia dem for my
efforts to get some of the caterers to speak on the issue were unsuccessful. Parents within the Sunyani municipality are urging government to pay the debt all caterers working under the food feeding program. From Sunyani, I am Michael Ogbodu for Citi News.
Unlike the widespread strike by school feeding caterers in some regions because of arrears owed them, in the Ifiakwesi Metropolitan Education Directorate in the Western region, only 3 out of the total 24 basic schools had their caterers on strike. Speaking to Citi News, the director of the Ifiakwesi Metro Education Directorate Catherine Biney, said although they would have wished the 3 schools are also being fed, the absence of feeding in these schools has not affected enrollment and academic work due to support of parents. Citi News' Akwesi J. Nim has more.
Following the agitations by the leadership of the school feeding caterers, it was expected that the strike by some of the caterers would be evident in the 24 schools who are beneficiaries of the school feeding within the Efia-Kwesimintim Educational Directorate. However, speaking to Citi News, the Metro Education Director said their monitoring shows that only 3 caterers at St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Basic School at Kwesimintim, Apremodo Catholic Basic School, and St. Francis Primary at Efia are currently not cooking.
For Efia-Kwesimintim, we have 24 of our schools who are on the school feeding project. Out of the 24, 3 schools have not been given food since last year. But in this wise, the parents are aware, so the necessary assistance from parents are given. And I wouldn't say it has affected the enrollment. The number, the enrollment, we have them intact. Students are also in school, yes. So it has not had any negative impact because parents are supporting.
At the Anaji MA Basic School, the pupils had finished taking their Bawku meal provided by the school feeding and were playing when the news team visited the school. To confirm, I spoke to caterers who were busy cleaning their utensils.
You're cross slack. The cross slack, we are started in the eye being kukra, you to your mum. It's a amboa to the year by a more, yeah, one chair, na frayena, a benkuna adibio.
Although the pupils confirmed eating the meals supplied by the school feeding program, a number of the pupils were seen queuing to buy food from vendors on the school's compound. When I inquired, they anonymously told me the food was insufficient, hence they have to buy more. The headmistress of Anaji MA, Margaret Wabin, confirmed the concerns some of the pupils have with the size of the food served.
As for the proportion they are given, and some of them to are grown-ups, especially those in class 5 and classes, maybe they think it's not, they are not satisfied with what is given and they are supposed to top it up. But to me, I think the portion given to them is quite okay. It's quite okay.
So the assurance coming from the Anaji MA school is that the caterers are fully in operation over here. They have resumed their work and they are hoping to actually continue with their cooking for the school come next week. For Citi News, I'm Akwesi Ejienim, Takrade.
Now, after several hours of being disconnected from the national electricity grid due to a 20 million Ghana cedi debt owed the Northern Electricity Department Company of the Volta River Authority, the Upper West Regional Hospital has been reconnected to allow for negotiations on payment modalities between the power provider and the facility. The regional hospital is among several other institutions, including the Wa Technical University, that suffered disconnections as the VRA NEDCO exercise embarked on a revenue mobilization effort to retrieve over a 50 million Ghana cedi debt from its customers in the Upper West region. There's more in the following report by Citi News' Latif Mahama.
The VRA Northern Electricity Distribution Company on Tuesday, April 18, 2023, commenced a revenue mobilization exercise to retrieve over 50 million Ghana cedis owed it by public and private institutions, as well as individuals in the Upper West region. The Upper West Regional Hospital was among some of the public institutions that suffered disconnection for failing to pay a 20 million Ghana cedis debt it owes the electricity provider.
Yesterday we were here and a group of gentlemen came from NEDCO, the Upper West branch of NEDCO, and that they were on a revenue mobilization exercise to retrieve money that is owed them. And our facility was one of the facilities that owed them to the tune of over 20 million Ghana cedis. So when they came, we had some discussions, and we reminded them that when the hospital began operating in 2020, we had regularly visited their office to inform them that they needed to separate the 20-unit 3-bedroom staff accommodation from the rest of the hospital. That was not done until just last Friday that they separated. And I'm sure 20 units accommodation, each of them 3-bedroom, consuming power since 2020 without paying, because they were not metered, could have contributed to ballooning the quantum of the debt. So that has been done now, and we regularly forwarded our bills to the Ministry of Health through Ghana Health Service. Last year, the Ministry of Finance paid part of our bill. They paid 8 million Ghana cedis, and we're expecting that similar payments would have been done this year. Unfortunately, this year, no payment has yet come until this disconnection.
Management of the Upper West Regional Hospital have been complaining of the inability of the government to honor its financial obligation to the facility, as they are yet to receive seed capital for the running of the hospital since its commissioning in August 2019. The regional medical director blames the high electricity bills on the design of the ultramodern 160-bed capacity hospital.
The design of our hospital makes it very energy consuming. You agree with me that an ordinary hospital in Ghana, when you go to the wards where patients lie, usually what you see is ceiling fans. That is not the case here. Here, all our wards, everywhere, there is no single ceiling fan in this hospital. Everywhere is air-conditioned, either split air-conditioned or centralized air-conditioned. And I think that is what accounts for the very high energy consumption. It's not like we are very reckless and not trying to conserve power. Where I sit in my office, there is no window. So if not air-conditioned, you cannot do otherwise. So even if I wanted to conserve power, there is no way. So going forward, energy becoming an issue in the country, I think stakeholders have to agree that maybe our hospital needs redesigning so that wherever we have patients, if instead of air conditions we have fans, here is it also that we are not allowed to levy patients outside approved, fees, usually by Parliament and for that matter, Ghana National Health Insurance Authority. So we cannot on our own levy patients that when you come in here, you have to pay this amount or that amount for electricity.
The Upper West Regional Hospital is the major referral center for the inhabitants of the region and beyond. Citi News checks revealed that the facility operates on a close to 500 air conditioners and some high electricity consuming equipment. Though the hospital is reconnected to the national grid, management is appealing for urgent support from the government to save the facility from collapse, as the 1.2 million Ghana cedis monthly electricity bill is way higher than the monthly internal revenue of the hospital. Management of the VRA-NED were not available for comments at the time of filing this report. Staff and patients at the Upper West Regional Hospital can now heave a sigh of relief as the facility is now connected to the national grid. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Latif Mahama.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. Still ahead. Over 700 people displaced in Nakwali-Koli in the Zabzugu district in the northern region following a rainstorm that hit the area on Wednesday evening. We have the details coming up shortly. Please do stay with us.
Smiles are one of the most important things we have. Globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Pepsodent with maximum cavity protection repairs tiny holes before they become cavities. Because every smile matters.
This is the neighborhood I'm having my twins.
The very reason why I took it for us. See, the price is very good and it's spacious to contain all of us.
Alphabet City. Now I'm a landlord. I don't pay rent. And my Airbnb business is booming.
To me, Pamini, bank and I'm not say another Alphabet City. The pension pay me 20%. The payment plan, I want to share my man. Just say, very smooth.
This is a healthy place to raise our families and creating peace. Come on, be my neighbor.
Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Alphabet City is a classy and peaceful gated community in Sakumono. We have 24/7 top-notch security and high-quality access roads. We have 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, 3 bedrooms and 3 washrooms with boys' quarters. We have 3 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, all with beautiful kitchens and kitchenettes. Call Alphabet City on 0240-111119 or 05044999999. Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Yeah, welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Let's bring you more stories as over 60 houses in Nakpali Kole in the Zabzugu district in the northern region have had their roofs completely ripped off following a rainstorm that hit the area Wednesday evening. Consequently, over 700 people have been displaced, some of whom are temporarily being housed by family and friends. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has visited the community and is currently mobilizing relief items for the affected persons. There is more in the following report by Mohammed Aminu Alabira.
On Wednesday evening, a rainstorm that hit the Zabzugu district in the northern region left in its trails destruction of immense proportions. Korle Nakpali traditional area in the Zabzugu district was severely affected, with over 60 homes having their roofs completely ripped off. A total number of 781 people have been displaced, with several other properties destroyed. The affected persons are currently seeking accommodation with family and friends. The district chief executive and the district National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, visited the area to assess the extent of damage. The district chief executive for Zabzugu, Ahmed Idrisu Adakwa, spoke to Citi News about the devastation.
They came with the report that even some animals had to be hit by it. That died. I'm told about 16 goats were killed as a result of some of the lines that got disconnected and then executed them. So immediately after that, so it was very huge disaster. But Assembly to also just trying to see if we can mobilize some few resources to be sent there. I called again. They said that part of their houses they don't have light. So yesterday I called my district NETCO director, who happened to be in Tamale. So he also dispatched some workers within the district NETCO office to go there and look at the damage so far caused. I've just received an information that part of the pylons has been damaged and they need to replace it with maybe a metal.
The Northern Regional Coordinator of National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Mr. Abdallah Salifu, says following a visit to the affected community, his outfit has submitted a report to the national headquarters for action.
This happening in the areas of
Nailfong, and then the Lemanfong. These are the major areas that are affected by this rainstorm. And the district director of NADMO has taken the details from the communities, and they have been forwarded to me in Tamale, and I have also forwarded them to Accra for consideration. Now, if you look at the breakdown, we have about adult males as 171 people, female adults 211, male children 234, female children 159, and that sums out to 781 people. I have taken up the reports, and I have written my own reports, and it has been forwarded to Accra, and Accra is yet to respond. But verbally, I have spoken with the district chief executive yesterday, and said they also put it up their best to see what they can do to support these victims. We have some few mosques and churches that are used to house these people temporarily, and the district chief executive is also working out to get something to support the feed the affected people, whilst waiting for Accra to respond appropriately.
Some affected members in the Napale Korle community who spoke to Citi News appealed for support.
You could see by yourself that we are now homeless at the moment. We are now homeless, and we are crying for help for those who have more than, and those who are willing to help, and those who put humanity at first. They should come to our aid.
So now I want to be brave, and for man all the year dying now. Until by this time, you know, I want tea and be brave about that. And Colani, you know, I want tea until me patch your per se and buoy. Nayanya, there, Yabanya be brave by Yabatimada. Ada, ye be brave about that. And Colani, you know, I want tea, penophoning in our want tea, and you know, I be brave about that. So now say, and man in now. Anything getting in now, so now say, you won't wear in a crap. Nayanya be brave about that. Ada.
It was rainstorm which removed all the roofs of our 3 rooms in our house, and we are very sad for this incident. And we are appealing to the general public and the philanthropists to come to our aid for this sudden happening. Because right now we are not more having any room to sleep in, and everything that we have just been spoiled. So we are appealing to the general public if they can come to our aid.
That was on Tuesday. A rainstorm hit Napali, destroying several houses. It has ripped off so many houses. As you can see, the building I'm standing behind was also ripped off by the rainstorm. So we are appealing to government, non-governmental organizations, philanthropists, humanitarian institutions to come to our aid to salvage our situation.
The assemblyman for Korle Napale, Honorable Adam Salifo, has been narrating the incident to Citi News and wants affected households to be supported.
Rain was to beat, so when the rains come, it was come with air, so it was destroyed so many houses, almost 50 going. It was destroyed almost 50 houses going, and then some goals was to one wire was destroyed, so it was killed some goals, almost 17 and above. So as I'm speaking, I'm complaining to the leaders, governmental staff, and then honorable members to come out with their support with my electoral area so that they will help my people, because as I now, some people don't have accommodation to stay now. So I'm pleading with my leaders to come out and help.
Police in the Afajato South District of the Volta region are on a manhunt for 6 persons for their alleged involvement in the beating and subsequent death of a man believed to be in his 70s. This was after a confrontation between the deceased and the school father of Vedeme in the Volta region, which led to 6 suspects ganging up to beat the old man. The victim is reported to have hit his head on the tarred road, went into coma and subsequently died. Family of the deceased, however, are appealing to the police to ensure the perpetrators are brought to book. There is more in the following report by Citi Newsroom's Desmond Selassie Ago.
In a tragic incident that has sent shockwaves across Vedeme in the Afajato South District of the Volta region, a man believed to be in his 70s has died after he was beaten by a group of individuals. According to reports, the deceased was involved in a confrontation with the stepfather of Vedeme in the Afajato South District of the Volta region, which quickly escalated into a physical altercation. 6 suspects, who are allies of the stepfather, proceeded to beat the elderly man, causing him to hit his head on the tarred road. The victim fell into a coma and later passed away as a result of his injuries. 15-year-old Elizabeth Odeneho is the daughter of the deceased and witnessed the incident. She spoke to Citi News and narrated how the incident occurred. She said, all hopes for her is lost as she depends solely on her father.
Ya me nyetova no me papa me afa evele me asita eva no agameto ya bobono mo no efimbede ya ka ejo ebe ya de ejo we me bia se be ya ka ejo ebe fiatova ye legbedo na meden me nayo ele ko wo meden me nayo ya nyeto ele free plan me si ade wan ko ki me yo na mo legbom wan ko emi o yo na mo legbo me kwenyi onye pakpa onye dokwa avu kokulu fiato ni minya be menya nko ki mini obede onye pakpa onye doku minister chalo legbedo na no le ko wo de abuwa sina medede yenye tojo wa bobo nai e wo kole vo yo va china nye to bede de do idada inda nye to cha like okule over evaleti study nye to me no be like no hin akble e bo ava notice yo be onye pakpa onye doku nchoje yo be onye avukokolo nchola site pe nkume nye to be ni ka to ase pe nkume nye to hipa sida koloko pu nkume na nye to chapu nye to chapu nkume ne ye over wanya ka yo be nya avode fimita ojo ya pe me over do amedu da nye to yo me be no klo nye to vele nke mi je egbe ko ya nchu video va ti le fime yo be agboseyan yo be de moka opa fifa le ko da le jigbeda lenye to be me le ko da le jigbo yo je nye to ju nka wo de jigbeda lenye to be ju ole da be ni kai debi yo be don kimi o don kun kimi wo na ji vai da lenye to be nkai wo ne kaka makpode epunkume na nyito enye chame punkume ne amole nyele kaka matro megbe makpode efonye to ko ta ko ya de ko taji ebule dodo tanga chime oyidimi echo ya vatu mi aitepede kaka oni ke enye ta se vayon be ndele nyito kaka ma ide obukwe ekoji me kola ji chenye to no dimi te mi ji kaka vado 9 days
Police in the Afajato South District, however, say investigations have begun and the suspects will be apprehended and brought to book. Meanwhile, the family of the deceased is calling on the police to ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice as the 6 have fled the community. Ahas Ross Agra, who is the family head of the deceased, noted that the death has affected the lives of the deceased children as some are still young.
I hope the CID is the one who's supposed to take the greater part in this now, so that they can investigate and arrest the people who are involved in this case. When they arrest them, I believe strongly the law will take its own cost. And the guys were making hide and seek, so we are not getting them. But I believe that the guys know all the police guys at the immediate police station here. So if the police can help, and then they will give policemen 2 or 3, 4 from other place. I started to get their pictures. I get 2 of them pictures. So if they will get information about them, and then they will come around to make the arrest, it will be possible to us. It will make everything easy. Now the children are 7 in number, and they're not one mother too. Actually, the one who was in the who was in the present of the incident. So right now it's a burden. It's a burden now. Yeah, we don't know if these people are not arrested and then taken to book. We don't know how we are going to handle the system now. You don't know how we are going to handle them yet. So is the police must do their work, and then we will follow up from there.
The police and the Vedeme community are appealing to the public to volunteer information to lead to the arrest of the perpetrators. Reporting for Citi News from Vedeme in the Afajato South District of the Volta region, I'm Desmond Salasiago.
Chief Justice Citi Newsroom has urged staff of the Judicial Service to be fair and honest in the discharge of their duties and ensure that justice is served in their day-to-day activities. The Chief Justice spoke at the commissioning of 2 court premises in Gumua Central and Gumua East. Central Regional Correspondent Calvus Tete has more in the following report.
Chief Justice Kwesi Newsroom says the construction of the 2 new district courts in the Gumua Central and Aguna East enclave are part of over 100 courts being built to support justice delivery. Justice Newsroom, while commissioning the court premises, urged staff of the Judicial Service to be fair and honest in the discharge of their duties and ensure that justice is served in the day-to-day activities. The Chief Justice believes that the siting of the district court will also reduce the turnaround time in justice delivery.
This court, a modern district court right here in Afansi, opens a most welcome avenue for the people of this great town to have justice wherever they need it. Through this court, we will be able to ensure that fewer people have to resort to extrajudicial avenues for seeking redress and solving disputes. Through this court, we can allow more and more people to see justice being dispensed at close range and thus build confidence and inspire trust. It is my hope that this court is able to do all that and more, and that will depend in large measure on the people who work in it. I urge the staff of the Judicial Service, whose work will give meaning to the construction of this court, to see themselves as ambassadors of the service and of the very concept of justice itself. This should impose on them a responsibility to be honest, fair and transparent in all their dealings with the public who come here to seek justice. That is the only way in which we can ensure that the building achieves its purpose of being. It is also my hope that the building is well maintained and not allowed to fall into premature ruin and disrepair.
The district chief executives for Gumua Central and Aguna East, Benjamin Kojo Utu and Janet Odei Paintel, shared with Citi News how the siting of the court in the district will address legal issues.
Justice is now close to us. People do not need to travel distances to seek for justice. I think that even in terms of assembly, enforcement of our bylaws will be very easy for us because we have to travel distances and sometimes disincentive because even fines are not referred to the assembly. And I believe that with this one here, most of the people who go far out to the law will have a place to seek justice and redress, and the enforcement of the law will become easier for us as well.
It will really help the assembly passing bylaws. And ever since this assembly was created, like I said, we've been going to Swedo for such things. Now that we have the district court, the bylaws for the assembly will be easy to implement. Yes, the citizens will know there is court here, so they should do the right thing. And it will help serve Aguna is a Madagan.
The Omanhene of Aguna Nsaba Traditional Council, Okeseku Afariminta III, urged traditional authorities within the enclave to allow the court to work while ensuring that they resort to using the court as a means for settling disputes.
We are going to work hand in hand with the courts to bring peace and justice into the community. We should allow the court to work. There are a whole lot of challenges. There are some situations when there's a problem in the community and it's being brought to the chief. Instead of the chief to remove the person and bring the person forward for us to deal with the person, they solve the issues at home. So the court here, as we have here, we should all help so the courts will work and work very well.
Chief Justice Enim Yabua has commissioned 2 new court premises in the Aguna and Gumwa area. This is to aid the justice system in the enclave. Carl Stetter, Citi News, Aguna and Sabah.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV, still ahead. We bring you a spotlight on technical and vocational education training, TVET, and its relevance for the country's economic growth. Please stay with us, we'll bring you details shortly.
It's on my nephew. Wow, this place has changed, yo. Yo, Angela, look at you all grown up, yo.
Some things never change, like Gino's quality recipe that gives my food that rich color, unique natural taste every time.
Smells good, yo.
Hey, sister, we the wapupon sano and kasa, just like I remember.
Uncle, hurry up and let's open the suitcase.
Ajua, chai, na me shrink quite far.
Best jollof I've ever eaten.
Wow, this is real jollof, mommy.
Gino dear, Emma Adriana de Ankasa.
Say Gino dear, fie. It's delicious, yo.
This advert is FDA approved.
Finally, anyone can become a household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated funds, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. You Go Flip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Another season of the Citi FM Family Consecration is here again. Your family radio station invites you to the 2023 edition of the Family Consecration Service. Let's hold ourselves in readiness as we prepare for a time of divine renewal, visitation, and restoration for our families and loved ones. Join us on Monday, 1st of May 2023 at the Winners Chapel, Ghana, Accra, near the OA Bus Terminal Circle as we intercede and commit our families to God. It's going to be a 6-hour intense moment of prayer time for families from 6 a.m. till 12 noon. Come and let us reinforce the resurrection power of Christ, which ensures our forgiveness, healing, business breakthroughs and open doors, sound and prosperous marriages, divine blessings in career and destiny fulfillment over our families. There will also be a time for the renewal of vows for married couples. The 2023 Family Consecration Service is powered by 97.3 Citi FM with support from Citi TV. As always, the family that prays together stays together.
His favor.
Ghana's unemployment rate keeps surging annually as many students graduate every year from various educational institutions in search of limited job opportunities. But come to think of it, how do we bridge the industry gap when much attention is given to theory-based learning? Against this background, Fred Duho throws the spotlight on the technical and vocational education TVET and its relevance for the country's economic growth.
Over the years,
Much focus has drifted towards theory-based education to the disadvantage of vocational and technical skills. In some instances, the technical and vocational education field has been stigmatized as a reserve for students with low academic records. But take a pause. Who repairs your car when it breaks down? Who repairs your electronic appliances such as television anytime there is a fault? I guess the answers are obvious. Imagine life without these categories of professionals with vocational skill sets. On this basis, the government has turned its focus to TVET by investing in a state-of-the-art facilities across the country to match policy direction. The Applied Technical Institute, located at East Legon, is a model school commissioned by the Vice President in June 2022. Engineer Emmanuel Kote Ashi is the principal of the school.
When it comes to career path, TVET schools are always having advantage over the grammar school. Let me tell you that right from JSS that you enter into a technical or TVET school, straight away, your career path is bright. Unlike the SHS, when you finish your 3 years, you don't know the career that you are going to choose. When they come here, if you want to do electricals, straight away, you know you are an electrician or you are electrical. If you are a plumber, you know you are a plumber. If you are a motor vehicle mechanic, you are. If you are an electronic technician, you are. You know it right from the beginning.
He explains that enrollment has been low because parents and guardians are unable to explain the benefits of TVET education to their children.
Government comes and government go, no focus or no attention is being drawn to the TVET. Then again, individuals found themselves on one thing when it comes to choosing of either the SHS or the grammar school or the TVET. So that is the main thing. It is policy direction. Government or policy makers are now making the thing very important for the youth. That is the reason why. So you find only few people who may be parental guidance or individual trying to show, leading them or making them have interest. Then you find them here.
In this electronic engineering class, students are being taught entrepreneurship.
I have shares in these companies, so at the end of the day, whatever comes out, the profits, we are all going to share everything equally.
Would the company pay for only the damages and this one, all of them will pay?
Children later geared up for hands-on practical lessons where many are assigned to diagnose faults with vehicles.
What do you want them to do here?
This is a petrol injector system. That's electronic fuel injection. That problem has been created on it, that we are going to use the scan to troubleshoot and later repair it.
This is called the Obli2 diagnostic seat. So there are pins, so you just insert it. Simple. So you see the car light blinks. So this is called the diagnostic machine. Then you click on, yes. Then we are going to diagnose the car. So diagnosis. So since this is a Volkswagen, then click on it. Then click on stand-alone diagnostics. Then okay.
When did you start the school?
And we are the first batch of Applied Technology Institute.
How did you make this choice?
For me, I wasn't happy choosing the technical school. My father was the one who chose it for me. But when I came in, before I realized that it's a great opportunity for me.
When you say great opportunity, what did you discover that makes it a great opportunity?
You see, I've not met some personnel before. I've met the Minister of Education, a lot. We've done a moving car, but it's not yet. Our friends electronics did it. So when we go there, they'll show you how they came about it. I went to Toyota Ghana at Tema 18. Yeah, community 18. That's why I went for my industrial attachment. When I went, they were proud that I'm there. And they told me that next time I can come there.
Each cylinder has one hose which is connected to the injectors. These are the injectors in it. So one hose to each injector. And the disadvantage is that it makes a lot of noise as compared to the modern one. So as you can see, the noise it makes. Yeah. So this is our hand pump. Yeah. Whenever there is any airlock in the engine, you just press this side, then you just take off the hose under. Then every air that is trapped in this filter will just come out. And this is our camshaft position sensor. So when I take you to the engine, I will show you the location of it and how it does. So this shows the speed of the camshaft, the crankshaft rather. This shows how it runs. The faster it goes, that's how you see it on this thing, on the panel.
Now we have water jackets around the cylinders so that when the heat come out, the water jacket, it will cool it, and this fresh air from outside will go and cool it down so that we can have a balance with.
How did you get to do the course you are doing here? What brought you here?
When I was young, when I see the women doing, sometimes we doesn't value the technical students because we think that all the technical students, they are dirty. It's true, and sometimes they think that, oh, when you go to technical school, you are not a student, but when you go to grammar school, after the grammar school, you will be sending your car to a workshop for someone to repair it for you. But you doesn't know that the same person that you are laughing at, that the dress is dirty, is the same person who will repair your car for you.
When we come here, this is the handbrake, and when you apply, it acts on the back axles alone. But when you apply the foot brake, it acts on the front and the back axles on. So as you can see, it's acting on the front axles and then the back axles.
As a school prefect, what are the challenges of this school?
Okay, the challenges here is we don't have dining hall, assembly hall, and then there's not enough classrooms.
How do students transfer knowledge and skills gained from TVET to apply in industry? Dela de Madika, the Workplace Experience Learning Coordinator, explained how students are attached to industries to enhance their skills.
So we run 4 courses here. We have motor vehicle engineering, electronic engineering, heavy duty engineering, and then electrical engineering. So, the way the economy is going, we need people, technical people who have the skills to go out there and then invent things to develop their country.
The Director General of the Technical and Vocational Education Training TVET Services, Mausi Nudeko Awite, threw more light on what the TVET sector seeks to achieve.
Government has put in place some training programs that builds the capacity of mastercraft persons to sharpen the bit, because the old ones didn't really have any good training. Somebody might have learned it from the father or the uncle and things like that. Nothing to do with maths, calculation, because all these things involve some form of calculations. If it's dressmaking, measurements. If it's hairdressing, at least you should know of the chemical composition and all that. What the Vulture project takes care of is sharpening the hard skills.
In order to attract more females into the sector, a number of policies have been created to attract young girls into the space.
TVET service is encouraging women to go into male-dominated space. And so we are putting in some interventions to encourage women to go into heavy-duty and tiling, such as supporting the final year students with tools and materials that when they finish, they can set up their own business.
Pause a bit and take a look at the vehicles on the road. Look at the tailoring shops around. All these machines used are normally repaired by technical hands. Where are the technical hands, I asked? Basically, these TVET institutions are put up to enhance Ghana's industrial drive. With me reporting from East Legon, the TVET school here, I am Fred Duho. for Citi News.
And that will be all for today's edition of the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Michael Ogbodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe.